All right, guys, banh mi. Wonderful sandwich. It really is. Sort of halfway between the French and the Vietnamese, obviously because of the French influence, because they were the bosses of Vietnam for a certain, well, I don't know whether they would call them the bosses. They thought they were. Anyway, they did have left a few things, some of the wide boulevards in Saigon, or Ho Chi Minh City as it's called these days. And also things like the French bread, which actually in Vietnam's a lot lighter. Anyway, I'm digressing a bit. I'm going to make a banh mi tomorrow, but I need to marinate the pork today. So I've got a piece of pork fillet there. You can just have a look at that. And that's trimmed. And I'm just going to make a nice, simple marinade, quite light, but refreshing. And I've got 1 cube of palm sugar. I've also got 1.5 limes. I'm just going to squeeze those in. So 1.5 limes. So it's sort of one of those typical Vietnamese stroke Thai marinades. It's got all the normal suspects in it. It's got some fresh ginger in it, which I'm just going to grate. And the same with a couple of cloves of garlic. So a 2 centimetre piece of ginger, a couple of nice plump cloves of garlic, some fish sauce. You can use soy if you like. I prefer fish sauce for this, I have to be honest. Quite a bit of that. A bit of peanut oil, or just normal veggie oil, and some sambal or any chilli paste. Good whack of that. And then we just mix that up. I'm going to have a little taste of this to make sure I'm happy. What I will add is a little bit of pepper before I do that. And I've got a spoon there. I don't want the spoon that I had in the sambal. Might blow my head off. Oh, that's nice. That will be nice. Now, the pork itself, I'm going to cut it like that, not right through, and that's just to make sure the marinade gets in there, and we'll worry about that tomorrow. Turn it over a few times, cover it up, put it in the fridge, turn it over a few times, and we will be back tomorrow and we will talk banh mi. Now, as I said yesterday, the banh mi shows its French influences. See, I'm kidding you, I went and put on a different shirt. It's still the same day. Oh, I love my jokes. It is the next day, and we've got our, well, you can tell by that, we've got our piece of pork there, and I'm just going to throw that in the oven. But as I said, you can see the French influences in this dish, because it's got pate, it's got sort of a French stick. Did I tell you that they make them with rice flour in Vietnam, so that they are nice and crisp and crunchy on the outside, but they're a bit softer? So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a slightly softer bun, or banh mi roll, which sometimes you can get in Vietnamese bakeries. Anyway, I'm putting some of that marinade on top. We can put some more on as we're cooking it, and I'm just going to throw that into the oven. Now, with the pate thing, yes, of course, you can just go and buy some pate. Maggie Beer makes a lovely one, as we all know. So you can buy some of that, or you can make this rough one, which I really like. And I always make a little bit extra because, to be fair about it, I always like a little bit in the morning on my toast, right? Getting my protein up. Don't know whether I'm supposed to have it in the morning with my toast, but I do. And what we do is we just saute some livers. As you can see there, I've got about a dozen livers. They're just chicken livers, and I've trimmed them. Make sure that you trim them. You have to get all the sinew and rubbish off them. So I've trimmed those, and I'm going to saute those soon. Not quite yet, because I'm going to start off with some onion. I've got about 1/4 of an onion there, and I've got a couple of nice plumpish cloves of garlic, which we're going to throw into our pan. So we'll put the garlic in, and we're just going to saute this quite gently, just to get the cooking process started. I don't want it brown, I just want it cooked gently. Now, just while that's happening, let's have a look at a few things here that we've got here. I'm going to make some mayonnaise. Now, you can use Kewpie mayonnaise if you like, which is the Japanese sweetish one. I'm not a great fan of Kewpie mayonnaise, I have to be very honest, and I've always got some homemade one. You can look up my YouTube site, and it's under Chef Secrets, how to make a homemade mayonnaise. And to that, I'm then going to add just a little bit of sweet chili sauce, you know, just that bottled one, and a little bit of sambal or any chili paste. As I said, you can use your Kewpie if you want to, but if you've got homemade, even better. And I'll add a bit more mayonnaise there because I do want quite a bit of it. So mix that up really well. Actually, it's funny, I'm complaining about the Kewpie mayonnaise being sweet, and then I add sweet chili sauce to it. So it just shows you. do as I say, not as I do, or the other way around. Can't quite work out what I'm supposed to do. Now, if I was Jamie Oliver, I'd stick my thumb in there, but I'm not Jamie Oliver, so I will have a taste with a spoon. Could do with a little bit more of our sambar. Needs a bit more of a kick. Although you do put fresh chilies on that. And keep an eye on this, don't burn our onion. And we just put that to the side, and then, my friends, we'll throw in those livers. So those clean livers go in there with our onion and garlic, along with a decent amount of salt and pepper, quite a bit of pepper, and also quite a bit of salt. I always find livers need some salt. I think it's a shame that we don't use chicken livers more often. They're cheap, they're plentiful. You know, you can always find them in the poulterer, and they are beautiful. We make chicken liver pate, I know that, but we don't sort of tend to do anything else. I remember going in Lyon to a place called Leon de Leon. Now, what a surprising name. His name was Leon and he was in Lyon. Oh, shut up, Ian. Anyway, I remember going there and having a salad nouvelle, which basically, and I'll do it on the show actually, I really will, because it was an absolutely delightful salad, and it was raw spinach and sautéed duck livers, nice big ones, and they were nice and pink on the inside, but they were crispy on the outside, so they've been cooked in a hard pan, and there was some lardons, you know, thin strips of bacon with it, and a really nice mustardy vinaigrette. Gee, it was good. Nearly as good as this banh mi. Now to that I then add any fortified wine. Now in this case I am adding some muscat, but you could add port, you could add tokay, anything. And then we're going to turn that right down, and we're going to cook that, I would say 10 minutes, yeah, something like that, because what I want to do is just mash those livers just with a fork, so they have to be really soft. Just let's make sure we've turned that right down so it cooks very gently. There we go. That's good. About 10 minutes. All right, you can see that I've let that cool down a little bit before I've mashed it up, so that's good. Lovely. And I know you were sitting there laughing about me saying me having that for breakfast on toast. One of the great treats when I was a kid, my mother used to cook lamb's fry for breakfast. Admittedly, we're in New Zealand where we ate every bit of the lamb, but she used to cook, that was one of our treats, and lamb's kidneys too on toast. So don't laugh. Right, my pork, keep it a little bit under. I don't want it cooked too much, and then we'll just slice it just on the angle. This should be nice actually. Nice tender pork fillet. That bit's for me. Ooh, gee, that's good. What a beautiful marinade. Well done. Now I put that bun into the oven. It should be hot. Oh yeah, beautiful. And I'll just finish eating before I continue. My mother and father get very upset if I ate with my mouth full. Quite rightly so too. And we'll just spread a good amount of this mayonnaise. You see why I made quite a lot, because apart from everything else, the hot bread will soak it up. And then some of my pate. When I say pate, my roughly made pate, I suppose you'd call it. You don't have to have it hot, it's just that, because I don't think you want to wait around for 9 hours while it cools down. This is actually a Tuscan dish, which don't ask me what that's got to do with Vietnam. I'm talking about not the whole dish, I'm talking about the rough pate. Right, now I've got some pickled radish and carrot, and you can see that on our website, actually in the waste not, want not, because I make pickles with all the sort of the bits that are left over with a nice red wine vinegar, so that's on the YouTube side. So we put that there. Then some of this lovely pork, and when I say lovely, it is beautiful. It's just got a wonderful flavour. You know, marinating it overnight, it's worth the trouble, guys. Lots of coriander, very important. And if you don't like coriander, you poor thing. And then just some sliced chilli. Now, I have left the seeds in that. If you find it a bit hot, you can take the seeds out and maybe not put quite as much as I have done. Once again, some of this nice tangy mayonnaise. And we'll just do that sort of semi on there. And there we've got our banh mi. Now, let's talk about booze. My dear mate, Neil Prentice, the avant-garde winemaker, he matched this and he said to me, if you're cool and trendy and you've got a big black beard, you drink Stone and Wood with it. the Pacific Ale, which is a bloody wonderful beer. It wins all the prizes. But he said, if you're a bit old-fashioned and boring like you, Huey, he said, what you drink is a nice Pinot Gris. So I've got Pinot Gris for me, and for you cool and trendy things with big black beards, Stone and Wood. All right, whatever you like. Wonderful sandwich, one of the great sandwiches of the world, this is. And particularly if you got a little bit of trouble, marinate the pork, make the sort of pate type thing yourself, and lots of nice pickles and all those lovely things. All right, cheers.